Okay, I'm not quite stupid, maybe this isn't the right word, but in any case, this race served for me to realize that I have some sort of mental issue. I believe this may resonate with some of you, and hopefully it can help you too. So let's look at how it went first, and I'll explain it later.
Alright, it's race day again. Today I'm in Montenegro, whose capital city is Podgorica. I believe that's the way you pronounce it. I'm gonna run a half marathon this morning, so I'm warming up. There isn't really a proper place for warm up, so yeah, I'm trying to find my way. Montenegro is a rather small country, and the capital is a pretty small city. In fact, there are some areas of it in the center that really feel like a small little village. So I haven't had the feeling so far that the city is really well prepared for running, although it's rather flat. Montenegro is really mountainous, stunning landscape, beautiful little old villages, but the capital is located in the only sort of valley that the country has. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of running culture around here. So the race is combined 10k, half marathon and marathon all at the same time. As far as I know, there are no starting pens, so I'm gonna have to fight a little bit to find a place not in the front line but not too far behind, don't get stuck in the traffic. Hopefully it should not rain. It stopped raining just a while ago, but the floor is very wet. It's been raining for the last 36 hours or so. Alright, I've done a 2.5k warm-up, including some strides, ready to race. It's still like 15 minutes to go. Today I decided to not bring any bags, so I don't have to worry about finding the backdrop or anything like that, and then collecting my bag after the race, because I'm a little bit in a hurry. I have to rush to the airport after the race. But luckily I'm staying pretty close, so I decided to just come race ready. Let's go!
Okay, I saw there was a pacer for 1:40, so I thought I would just hang behind him until like half of the race, and then if I felt good I could push to try and finish at 1:38 or so. But the guy was a little bit unreliable, and at kilometer 3 he slowed down a bit, so I decided to pass him and go with a girl in a red shirt that seemed to be running the pace I wanted. Kilometer 4, my stride is not great, but okay. I'm running in the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 3 because I wanted a good grip after 2 days of rain, although as you can see the sun came out and it was actually not wet at all. Okay, let's grab some water around kilometer 5. I didn't get much water really, the cup was almost empty, but yeah, that was to be expected. There in the distance you can see the bridge where we started, and behind me you will see this girl in red that I decided to go with. Yeah, some music points here and there, but in general there's not much support and it feels a little bit lonely. Kilometer 7.5, I took my first gel with no caffeine because my heart rate was already too high. It turns out there was another water station here that I was not expecting, so I could not make use of it because I was having the gel at that time and I was also filming and I was busy watching this church on the right. And so I lost focus a little bit, and that's also when I started to lose contact with the girl in red. Okay, we're now completely outside the city on this rather long out and back stretch of highway. This is the first half marathon runner. I think he won the race in like 70 minutes. So not a super fast race with super elite runners. So indeed I had been slowing down since kilometer 7, and here at kilometer 12 the 1 hour 40 pacer caught me back. And then he passed me, although I'm not sure he was really running the correct pace, because as you can see he was not bringing any group of runners with him.
Almost missed it. Sharp U-turn here. After this super long avenue, just to see the statue there.
Here I grabbed some more water at kilometer 14.5 or so, although I have to confess, just after the U-turn at the statue there was another water station on the other side of the road, and for some reason my brain went to stupid mode and I stopped for like 2 minutes to have a drink and a second gel. Yes, this is what I want to talk about, but let me get to the finish line and complete the race ratings first.
It's pretty lonely now, running alone. I almost got lost. Almost missed a turn. Yeah, I'm barely running at marathon pace now. Coca-Cola.
So at this point I was not really enjoying it anymore, and I even thought about DNF, but then I had to reach the finish line anyway because I had to catch my flight. So I kind of tried to convince myself that this was not a target race for me and that the objective was the Valencia marathon, so this would be a good training run towards the marathon anyway. And around kilometer 19, despite having stopped for 2 minutes and ran quite slow since then, I passed a girl in red that I found walking, so apparently she bonked even more than me. Okay, reaching the finish line behind this blind athlete, so I decided to not sprint, not pass him, and not steal the limelight from him. Yeah, the finish line was a bit congested, and wow, this girl gave me the medal right on the finish line.
So we can use the lower
So as you could see, I stopped pushing at around kilometer 13. I even stopped literally for about 2 minutes, and I took my time to drink and have a gel and even talk to the guys at the drink station. But I didn't need to stop. That's the issue. So after the race, I realized what I had just done, and I was very upset with myself. I thought I hadn't come all the way to Montenegro and paid quite a handful of money to be so whimsical to stop after 13k. Yeah, but the truth is, I have stopped quite a few times in races, but I don't stop because I'm bonking, I'm out of breath, I'm gasping for air, or because I'm cramping, my muscles are cramping, or anything like that, or I cannot run anymore, although obviously racing is hard. But in fact, the next morning when I was back home, I went for an easy 10K and I was aerobically perfect. My legs were not especially tired, just somewhat sore calves. But that's because I even decided to go run in low drop, low stack shoes that are inherently demanding on the lower leg and on the Achilles tendon. And also this morning, I did a pretty decent workout at the half marathon pace again. So I didn't need to stop. So why the hell did I stop in this particular race and also in other races? Okay, well, first I stopped because I realized a PB is not possible anymore. And I say to myself that pushing and causing suffering and causing pain just makes no sense. So yeah, obviously I should have another driver than just chasing PB. I stop because I don't feel good, but not in the sense of feeling sick or anything like that. Rather, I don't feel good enough. That means I don't feel I'm having a good race. I don't feel I'm flowing, if you wish. And then I blame the conditions somehow, including, for instance, the water stations, or the fact that I am 2 to 3 kilos overweight, or the elevation gain, or even the altitude of the race, or anything else really. So then I convince myself that the conditions are not ideal for a PB, and then why even try, right? I think, never mind, there will be other races, more opportunities. Now, hopefully, at least I should not think that in the marathon, because there won't be many more marathon opportunities. So fingers crossed for that one. Also, I stopped because I somehow anticipate that what is to come is only going to get worse, because I feel there is no way I can run a negative split, for instance. I stopped in this case because I was not able to run faster and have a longer stride in the downhill segments, at least according to the watch. I stopped because I tell myself this is not an A race anyway. My goal is something different. It's the Valencia Marathon in this case, which is true, but still I was really hoping to have a good performance at this race in Montenegro. But I thought it's fine and no problem. This is still a good training run towards the marathon. Yeah, okay, perhaps it is, but didn't go all the way to Montenegro for a training run, right? But in general, I'm willing to keep pushing and suffer if there is a reward to be obtained, like a PB. But otherwise, my will to suffer is much lower. Of course, I do enjoy the training. So, for instance, I give high fives to the kids on the side of the road. I film. I look around for the scenery. But I don't need to push hard for that. It's rather the contrary. So I stopped for unreliable reasons. Now, I spent the whole time of the flight back home thinking about how most of the triggers that made me take the decision to stop were actually based on possibly wrong data or wrong facts. First of all, the course. Perhaps I should have studied better the elevation profile, even if they say it's flat. So I would know exactly where the ups and downs were. Perhaps the remaining parts after the point where I stopped was easier, or perhaps there was more support or whatever. So that's the course. Then also the pacer. In this case, it was one single guy, one single pacer. So he may not be adapting properly his pace to the slope, for instance, because it's actually easy running for him. So he doesn't get direct feedback of whether it is redlining for me or not. Also, the pacer may slow down or accelerate without even noticing it. His pace may even be ahead of target, especially if he only carries like 2 or 3 runners behind him, which was the case. So the fact that he passed me might have been because he suddenly decided to target a faster finish time, who knows. So I guess I'd be better off ignoring the pacer or pacers. In fact, in all the races where I performed well, I was completely disconnected of any pacer. What else? Also, yeah, the GPS, well, it is usually around like 3-4 seconds faster than the official pace, and it tends to end up marking more distance than the official one. Or maybe not. Maybe I get 1 or 2 minutes for free at the end because there was no GPS drift. In fact, this is exactly what happened in this race. The GPS was quite spot on. So potentially, if I had continued and maintained this pace until the end, even if it seemed insufficient, it might have ended up being a PB indeed. So yeah, the lesson is consider there might be 1 or 2 minutes of margin due to the GPS drift, so don't give up too soon. Okay, now another topic is the heart rate. My watch was saying from the beginning that my heart rate was much too high, like in zone 5, so that made me think that I would not be able to hold it for 21k. I thought I would have no choice but to slow down at some point. And eventually that gave me some kind of permission to stop. But I was unsure if, first of all, the heart rate monitor was accurate enough, and second of all, if my threshold heart rate was correct, because it depends on, for instance, on the temperature. And also I was suspecting that perhaps my heart rate was higher than normal due to me taking too much caffeine for breakfast. There was no coffee machine in the apartment, so I used instant coffee, but I was unsure of how much caffeine was in there. Indeed, I checked that afterwards, and it seems that indeed I had at least like 200 milligrams of caffeine in my breakfast, which is much more than what I usually have, what I'm used to. And then, I was also unsure whether a high heart rate caused by caffeine was had the same meaning as a high heart rate due to effort. Maybe it was okay. So was I really in zone 5? I didn't know. On top of that, I usually take a non-caffeinated gel at kilometer 7 and keep the caffeinated one for kilometer 12, and then optionally have another non-caffeinated gel at 17. But this time, for some reason, I decided to have the one with caffeine at kilometer 7. So that, I guess, contributed to keeping my heart rate high and keeping me puzzled about that. So I would say the lesson here is don't pay too much attention to the heart rate. Just stick to your usual strategy and morning routine. And I believe, perhaps a better indicator of whether you're redlining or not is your breathing. If you're breathing comfortably and you're not out of air, then you're good to go. Forget about the heart rate. Okay, right. And another thing was the feeling of having a short stride and not feel a lot of bounce, not as I wanted, at least. So during the race, I partly put it down to a wrong choice of shoes, of course. And then I thought, since these are the wrong shoes, I've got no chance. So for next time, I guess I should not look at my stride length data, especially because it might be wrong. It's generally inferred or estimated data resulting from an algorithm. So and finally, very importantly, I realized that stopping will make you feel more bullshit than continuing, even if you have to slow down. Also, continuing is much more insightful in terms of data to analyze how it went and what you can improve next time. All right, but in reality, there are a few reasons, real reasons why it perhaps didn't go so well. So first of all, I guess, well, this is really the level I'm currently at. So probably I was too ambitious. And then, of course, breaking a PB is something difficult and something unlikely. So yeah, it's no wonder it didn't work. Then the temperature, indeed the sun came out and it was certainly warmer than where I had my best races. Also, I may have done too little running and insufficient intensity during the race week, the week before the race. So I need to find a place where I can do a good session on the Wednesday, and I suppose I should add one easy run on Monday or Tuesday. And in this case, I could only do a session on Wednesday while I was in Dubrovnik, but there was no good runnable path, so it ended up being a short tempo run with some intensity, but not like my usual pre-race workout, although I did enjoy the views during that run. Okay, and to conclude, I think I should tweak my training for next time by number one, gradually reducing the length of the recovery breaks in between intervals. That's still pending. Also training, at least 15, 16 kilometers at half marathon target pace in the case of a half marathon. So, for instance, 4 times 4K or so. Number three, training on long, gentle hills on somewhat undulated terrain, which is hard to achieve here in Valencia because there isn't a proper hill unless you go quite far away. Okay, I think that's all I had to say. I hope some of these things do resonate with you and this video has helped you in a way or another. If so, then please subscribe to the channel and watch out for next week. Next week it will be a very interesting video about how to break the sort of performance plateau that you reach after some years of running, where I'll also show you the best of what I saw in Dubrovnik and in Kotor. So yeah, see you next week, and in the meantime, if you run around, remember to look around. Bye.